Bhagavad Gita. Today is Tuesday.
Okay, so just shut this down.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayo Gopi Janavalabha Girivala Dali Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krišna, Hare Krišna, Krišna Krišna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krišna, Hare Krišna, Krišna Krišna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krišna, Hare Krišna, Krišna Krišna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Panchatattva, Jaya Panchatattva, Jaya Panchatattva, Jaya Panchatattva. Jaya Gauranita, Jaya Gauranita, Jaya Gauranita, Jaya Gauranita. Jayam Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajikacharya Stutara Shata Shishimat, His Divine Grace, A.C. Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Nanta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai, Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Dvaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, Jai Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Radha Kunde Shama Kunde Giri Godam Ki Jai, Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai, Ganga Devi Ki Jai, Yamuna Mai Ki Jai, Tulasi Marani Ki Jai, Gora Premanande. Saslavas. Aha, angliščini da govorim, ok. Saslavas Brani Bhaktam. Saslavas Brani Bhaktam. Saslavas Brani Bhaktam. Saslavas Shri Guru in Gaurangi. Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishna Padaya Shmat Vishnu Samati Vashini Krishna Prabhupada. Ok. Sam nimam, imate angliško tole knjigo, ki imam v slovenščini? Nektar duhovnih napotkov. Nectar of instruction.
You need an English copy?
Yeah, because I just have in Slovenian. So today is a very special day. It is celebrated as Appearance Day of Shri Radha Kunde, although there actually the actual appearance of Shri Radha Kunde happens in springtime, but in Vraja they are celebrating the appearance of Shri Radha Kunde today. And there are thousands and thousands of pilgrims around Shri Radha Kunde, and they are bathing there, and especially they are bathing there at midnight snan, many of them. And so today I would like to speak a little bit in glorification of Shri Radha Kunde. And I would like to start with a verse from Nectar of Instruction, because the last 3 verses of Nectar of Instruction glorify Shri Radha Kunde. So the... yes, electronic copy is fine. Thank you very much. Okay. So I would start with text 9 of Nectar of Instruction. Huh? I had Tula. Okay. I'll just read the translation. The holy place known as Mathura is spiritually superior to Vaikuntha, the transcendental world, because the Lord appeared there. Superior to Mathura Puri is the transcendental forest of Vrindavan, because of Krishna's Rasa Lila pastimes. And superior to the forest of Vrindavan is Govardhan Hill, for it was raised by the divine hand of Sri Krishna and was the site of his various loving pastimes. And above all, the super excellent Shri Radha Kunde stands supreme, for it is overflooded with the ambrosial nectarian prema of the Lord of Gokula, Shri Krishna. Where then is that intelligent person who is unwilling to serve this divine Radha Kunda, which is situated at the foot of Govardhan Hill? And the purport. The spiritual world is 3/4 of the total creation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and it is the most exalted region. The spiritual world is naturally superior to the material world. However, Mathura and the adjoining areas, although appearing in the material world, are considered superior to the spiritual world, because the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself appeared at Mathura. The interior forests of Vrindavan are considered superior to Mathura because of the presence of the 12 forests, Dvadashavana, such as Talavan, Madhuvan, and Bahulavan, which are famous for the various pastimes of the Lord. But superior to these forests is the divine Govardhan Hill, because Krishna lifted it like an umbrella, raising it with his beautiful lotus-like hand to protect his associates, the denizens of Vraja, from the torrential rains sent by angry Indra, king of the demigods. It is also at Govardhan Hill that Krishna tended the cows with his cowherd friends. And there also he had his rendezvous with his most beloved Shri Radha and engaged in loving pastimes with her. Radha Kunda at the foot of Govardhan is superior to all, because it is there that love of Krishna overflows. Advanced devotees prefer to reside at Radha Kunda because this place is the site of many memories of the eternal loving affairs between Krishna and Radharani, Rati Vilasa. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, chapter 18, it is stated that when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu first visited the area of Rajabhumi, he could not at first find the location of Radha Kunda. This means that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was actually searching for the exact location of Radha Kunda. Finally, he found the holy spot, and there was a small pond there. He took his bath in that small pond and told his devotees that the actual Radha Kunda was situated there. Later, the pond was excavated by Lord Chaitanya's devotees, headed first by the 6 Goswamis such as Rupa and Raghunath Das. Presently, there is a large lake known as Radha Kund there. Srila Rupa Goswami has given much stress to Radha Kunda because of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's desire to find it. Who then would give up Radha Kunda and try to reside elsewhere? No person with transcendental intelligence would do so. The importance of Radha Kunda, however, cannot be realized by other Vaishnava sampradayas, nor can persons uninterested in the devotional service of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu understand the spiritual importance and divine nature of Radha Kunda. Thus, Radha Kunda is mainly worshipped by the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, the followers of Lord Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Om Jnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupam Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapada Kamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvetam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchanga Gaurange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So this is a very wonderful verse, first of the three verses actually, which are glorifying Shri Radha Kunde. And this is very exalted topic. So I'm begging for the blessings of the senior Vaishnavas so that I can say something. What I have heard actually from senior devotees about this wonderful and exalted topic. So here in this verse, we can actually see the hierarchy of the holy places. So the first holy places that are mentioned are Vaikuntha planets. And it is actually said that the places here in Vrindavan are even higher than Vaikuntha planets. And then the hierarchy goes up and up to the Radha Kunde. So we may actually have a question here. Even after we heard the explanation in the purport about why are these holy places in such a hierarchical what? Order, yes, thank you. Order. Why they are in such order? And with these topics, it is important that we understand when we are speaking about spiritual subject matters, there are actually two main aspects. One is tattva and the other is rasa. So tattva refers to the spiritual science, spiritual truth. But rasa refers to the spiritual mellows of love. Mellows which are exchanged between Krishna and his devotees. So in this regard, the order of importance of these holy places is based on the satisfaction that Krishna experiences through these rasas. And I will explain how and why this is so. So if we take Vaikuntha planets, this is certainly a spiritual world and it is wonderful, it is very pleasing to the Lord. But among the different rasas or the relationships that devotees have with the Lord at Vaikuntha, the predominant rasa is dasya. And dasya is its servitude. It is beautiful, it is wonderful, but it's not the most, it's not the kind of rasa that gives the most pleasure to Krishna. And there is also a little bit of sakya, but the predominant rasa is dasya. And also the overall atmosphere is Aishvarya. So it's more respectful. Devotees are more respectful and a little reserved towards the Lord. There is not such a very intimate relationship. And naturally, this it is less pleasing to the Lord than the relationships which are more intimate. So that's why Vaikuntha is here on the lowest place. Then the next comes Mathura. And in Mathura, we can find 4 different kinds of rasas, 4 kinds of relationships: Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya, and Madhurya. But still, the overall atmosphere in Mathura is also Aishwarya. So it's still a little more reserved. But then, when we go to Vrindavana, the whole other atmosphere is there. And there is the atmosphere of Madhurya, the sweetness. Everything, all relationships are surcharged with this sweetness. And there are also 4 different kinds of rasas in Vrindavana. It's Dasya rasa, Sakhya rasa, Vatsalya rasa, and of course, Madhurya rasa. But then, even higher than this is Govardhan. Why? Because at Govardhan, there are only 2 highest rasas, and these are Sakhya and Madhurya. Again, why they are highest? Because they give more pleasure to Krishna. They are more intimate. They are more sweet. And even higher than that is Radha Kunda. Radha Kunda, of course, we can find Radha Kunda on Govardhan, on the hill Govardhan. And the special characteristic of rasa at Radha Kunda is only Madhurya. So it is the sweetest of the sweetest, and gives the greatest pleasure to Sri Krishna. And this is one explanation why Sri Radha Kunda is the highest of all holy places. Of course, another explanation, which we can find from the next verse of Nectar of Instruction, is because this is the lake of his most beloved, Shrimati Radharani. So the next thing that I wanted to speak just briefly is about Lord Chaitanya and his importance in our understanding Radha Kunda. At the end of the purport, we could read that Radha Kunda is the most elevated and the highest of all holy places, only for Gaudiya Vaishnavas. Why? Because only Gaudiya Vaishnavas have this understanding, because it is only through Lord Chaitanya that we can actually understand the significance of Radha Kunda. Because in other sampradayas actually don't have, it was not revealed. These are the most elevated secrets, we could say, in the Vaishnava understanding about Radha Kunda. And then another thing is also that it is not that Radha Kunda is the most desirable place to meditate on or to recite at for any devotee. As it is evident from the rasa which is predominant at Radha Kunda, we can see that this place is only the most desirable for those devotees who already understand that their rasa, that their relationship with the Lord is Madhurya rasa, which means that they are in the mood of the gopis, either Sakhis or Manjari gopis. So only for them, this is the most attractive and it's the most important holy place. Other devotees who are in different kinds, in another kind of relationship or mood, they have other places which are more attractive for them and which are more important for them. Although they may not be the highest as far as the satisfaction that Krishna gets from all the rasas, but they may be the most important for them. So I would also like to very shortly speak about how Radha Kunde appeared. So everything started after Shri Krishna killed the demon Arishtasura. And we know that Arishtasura, he was a bull. And after that, he wanted to have some association with the gopis and Srimati Radharani, but Srimati Radharani was very angry with him. She did not allow him to even come close. And she said that he is actually a great offender because he killed the Arishtasura, who is actually a cow. I mean, he's a bull, but he's a cow. So cow is sacred animal. So how can he, after he committed such a heinous crime as killing a cow, now he wants to come and associate with her and other gopis? This is not possible. So Krishna was very, he was very sorry. So first he tried to defend himself and he said, well, actually, he was not a cow. He's a demon who was just like pretending to be a cow. He just had a garb of a cow, but he's a demon. But it did not help. Srimati Radharani said, no, he was a cow. You cannot excuse yourself. He was a cow, and this was a great crime. So then Krishna asked her, so what can I do to purify myself so that I will be worthy of your association again? So then Srimati Radharani told him, well, you have to go. You have to visit all the holy places, and you have to bathe in all the sacred rivers, and then you will be purified. And then, so Krishna said, so be so, I will do. But then he was thinking, well, I don't really have to travel all over and visit every holy place. I can just call all the holy rivers to come to me. And so he did that. He called all the holy rivers to come. And when they came, he requested them to fill a big pond with their waters. And so they happily fulfilled his order and filled a large pond with their waters. And after that, Krishna took bath there. And then, after he took bath there, he saw the gopis, they were all standing around, and he invited them, please come, would you also like to bathe in my Kund? It's so beautiful. So this was the birth of Shyama Kund. And gopis said, no. This water is contaminated. Because you bathe there, and all this scene of your killing the cow, this is all now, it polluted the water. We will not bathe them. No way. And then Krishna said, well, you will not? You don't want to bathe them? No. And then Srimati Radharani said, we will create our own pond. And then Krishna said, oh, okay. You can take some of my water, some of water from Shyama Kund. And Srimati Radharani said, no, we just told you that it's contaminated. How can we take the water from your pond? We will get our own holy water by going to Manasi Ganga, and I will ask my unlimited number of gopis to just go with the little pots, clay pots, and they will go to Manasi Ganga and they will bring water. And we will fill up one pond, and this will be our pond. And then Krishna said, but you know, this will take a long time. Why don't you, I can call all the holy rivers and they can directly fill up your pond. And Shrimati Radharani said, no, we will do it ourselves. And we will also dig the pond ourselves. So they started. And how did they start? They took their bracelets and they started digging the ground. But the ground was actually very soft. It was such a soft sand and soft soil. So very quickly they were able to dig like a nice little pond. And then all the holy rivers appeared just by themselves in front of Shrimati Radharani. And they begged her to please allow them to fill her pond with the water. And so Shrimati Radharani allowed them. And then they happily filled her pond with their holy waters. And in this way, Shri Radha Kund appeared. And at present, we can see that Shri Radha Kund and Shyama Kund, sometimes they overflow. So the water from one pond goes into another pond because they are just one next to the other. And when Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visited this exact place where Radha Kund is situated, it was just a very, very small little, it was very tiny pond of water, not like today, very, very small. But he understood immediately that this is the exact spot and this is the right water, because he experienced unlimited ecstasy just by touching this water. So then he confirmed. We could say that he actually rediscovered. So in this way, the Radha Kund reappeared again with Lord Chaitanya discovering it. So nowadays, we can see I don't know exactly how many years, but every several years they clean Radha Kund, and they just take all the water out, and then it's very visible that in the middle of the pond, on the bottom, is just like very tiny pond where the water is actually coming out. And this is the original Radha Kund. Okay, so then there is a few more things that I wanted to speak about. So the next thing is, I would like to read just a little bit from text 10 of Nectar of Instruction. Who then will not reside at Radha Kund and in a spiritual body surcharged with ecstatic devotional feelings, aprakrita bhava, render loving service to the divine couple Shishirada Govinda, who perform their Ashtakalya Lila, their eternal eightfold daily pastimes? Indeed, those who execute devotional service on the banks of Radha Kund are the most fortunate people in the universe. And in this, under this text, in the purport of this text, Srila Prabhupada is actually giving the hierarchy of the different categories of people. And he starts with people who are vikarmis. And these are basically materialists of this world, who just live for the satisfaction of their senses, and they perform all kinds of sinful activities. Then the next category are the karmis. These are the people who perform karma kanda, but they actually also want just to enjoy themselves, but they do it in a righteous way. So accordingly to the instructions from the Vedas. Still higher than them are the jnanis. They do have spiritual, at least some spiritual knowledge, but they do not want to surrender to the Lord. They just want to merge with the impersonal Brahman. So this makes them inferior. But then higher than them are devotees. And among all the devotees, the highest are the Prema Bhaktas, those devotees who have Prema. And the highest devotees among those who have Prema are the gopis. And among all the gopis, the highest is Srimati Radharani. So this Radha Kunda, it's the place which is very, very intimately connected with Srimati Radharani. And here we can see that Srila Rupa Goswami is actually encouraging to live at Radha Kunda and to serve the divine couple. But the question is, who can actually really live at Radha Kunda? Because especially nowadays, we often see that many devotees go to Radha Kunda and try to live at Radha Kunda. But if we study the Nectar of Instruction, we can see that these last verses are actually dealing with the topmost stages of progress in bhakti, with the bhava and prema. So this residing at Shri Radha Kunda is the best place for devotees who are on such elevated stages of devotional life, because they really they can really relish and go deeper and deeper in their relationship which they have with Srimati Radharani and Krishna. But for the rest of devotees like me, who are, for those of us who are Vaidhi sadhana bhaktas, Shri Radha Kunda is not the place where we should reside. Because anyone who has material desires and who still has many anarthas within the heart is in great danger if he tries to live at Radha Kunda. Because for such a person, Radha Kunda may turn into Naraka Kunda. And Naraka means hell. Because for those who are not qualified, then they can actually get the opposite effect. And there are many cases of devotees who were trying to live at Radha Kunda and do their bhajan, their devotional practice at Radha Kunda, and they stayed there for some time. But then they left and they went back to, mostly they came from the West, and they were never seen again. So many of those devotees just not only left Vrindavan, left Vraja, but they also left the spiritual path of bhakti. So it is such a danger if one tries to prematurely go somewhere on some higher level, which he is not really qualified for. And now the next point that I wanted to speak just a little bit is about bathing in Shri Radha Kund. And here we also have in the 11th, text number 11, we can read, undoubtedly, Radha Kunda is very rarely attained, even by the great devotees. Therefore, it is even more difficult for ordinary devotees to attain. If one simply bathes once within those holy waters, one's pure love of Krishna is fully aroused. So here we can see Srila Rupa Goswami is speaking about bathing in Shri Radha Kunda. And tonight, actually at midnight, so many devotees and also some other people who are even not so devotional will bathe in Shri Radha Kunda. And in ISKCON there is often a question. Sometimes we can see that different spiritual masters give different instructions to their disciples, whether to bathe in Shri Radha Kunda or not. So some they do bathe, some they do not. Many spiritual masters give instruction to their disciples to just put a few drops of Radha Kund water on the head, and this is equal to bathing in Radha Kunda. So the question is, shall we bathe or not? Any suggestions? Yes, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, yeah. So I bathed in Radha Kund a number of times. First time was in 1974, first temple president's meeting. We went to Vrindavan. I mean, it was quite ecstatic because I was remembering Srimati Radharani. Next time was in 76 when I went with the Radha Damodar party. And we all dove in and swam around Radha Kund. And when Prabhupada heard about it, he said that they were kicking Srimati Radharani. So that was the last time I bathed in Radha Kund. I go there and just put some drops. Because it doesn't, it's really a question of consciousness. Just bathing in Radha Kund without a devotional consciousness won't really get you to the spiritual world very quickly. Because it's, as you said, it's the most sacred place. On the other hand, even without being at Radha Kund, if one can remember Radha Kund, and have a devotional attitude towards it. Because, first of all, Srimati Radha Kund means Srimati Radharani means unlimitedly, absolutely humble and appreciative of Krishna. So if one takes the water as something other than that, non-different from Srimati Radharani, then at best one won't get any benefit. So, and if one has the right attitude, even by remembering Radha Kund, one will get all the benefit. So it's a question of attitude. And if we don't think, that if we have the right attitude, then it's really not necessary to dive into Radha Kund, because one will get all the benefit anyhow. And if one has, unless Krishna or Srimati Radharani wants us to do it, but that should be inspired from them, not from our thinking, I'm going to bathe in Radha Kund, and I don't know what we think we're going to get from it. So it's a question of, as far as a number of spiritual masters, I think we have our Acharya Srila Prabhupada. And we really have to understand what to do and what not to do from his instructions. So there should be some more uniformity within ISKCON, because Prabhupada, not that everyone has to give the same instructions, but it should be clear why Prabhupada gave instructions, so that any one of us who has followers or disciples, when we give instructions, they're in line with Srila Prabhupada's instructions. Then they'll actually have some potency behind them. Because ultimately, all our potency comes from aligning ourselves with Srila Prabhupada. and his desires, and which means our disciple succession, going all the way back to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and through him to Krishna and the spiritual world, Srimati Radharani. So we have to make sure we're aligned with Srila Prabhupada. Doesn't mean that everyone will get the same instructions, because there may be different devotees have different levels of attainment, but it shouldn't be done just because I feel like that. It should be done with realization, understanding. Otherwise, we're based on Prabhupada and his instructions and example. Otherwise, you can bathe anywhere and you'll get the same result.
Thank you very much for enlightening us, Maharaj. This was very nice. I would just add one more thing here. As you also mentioned, that it is dependent on the consciousness of the person, and also that even if one is not at the Radha Kund, if he remembers, meditates on Srimati Radharani. So I would like to confirm this. That is also one statement by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, in which he explained that that snan, or that bath in Shri Radha Kund, which gives prema, is actually the bath, it's the aprakrita snan, which means the transcendental bathing in meditation, which means that the devotee is actually meditating on Srimati Radharani, on doing seva, manasi seva, to Srimati Radharani, while being free from all material desires. Being free from all material desires. So this is that spiritual bath. And this kind of bath gives prema. Okay, so maybe, is there any question or anything? Otherwise, I would stop here. Usually you go until 8? Until 8, huh? Something like that, yeah. So I don't want to go overhead. Okay, no question. Okay, so Shri Radha Kunde ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Samaveta Bhakti.